What did you think about, I mean, you obviously had to switch up your units. You had to get new guys in there. Obviously, Podziemski had a notable game. What did you think the response of your guys in the wake of all that?
It was just an amazing performance by our guys to be so shorthanded and to fight and compete the way they did. It was just beautiful to watch. I'll give credit to Minnesota. They've probably been the best team in the league to this point. Number one defense, and they've beaten a lot of good teams. And they took over in the fourth. Towns made some really big shots for them, and they held us to 18 points, so they earned it. But I couldn't be more proud of our guys. They just competed like crazy, and it was really fun to watch.
We talked
Yeah, Steve, bouncing off that, you said before the game, you said this is going to be a game of opportunity. Obviously, after the first couple possessions, even more guys got some opportunities because of the context. How do you think guys seized those opportunities, especially, in an environment where the energy could have kind of been sucked out of everybody after what happened? How do you think they responded, and how do you think some of those guys seized that opportunity?
They were amazing. They did everything they could to win the game, and just came up short. But Wiggs, that early possession where he was just fighting like crazy and got like 3 loose balls and gets it, and the way things are going for him, he doesn't get the call. He's going up and they rake him across the arm and he doesn't get the call, which is just kind of the way things have gone for him to start the year. But I thought his energy to start the game was great, and everybody's heart was in a great place in terms of just competing together, doing whatever it took to try to win the game. And like I said, give Minnesota credit. They earned it.
We talked about Pods before the game. I mean, played him 39 minutes.
Yeah.
How do you think he did? And then how hard is it going to be to figure out this rotation and keep him off the court, considering how well he played tonight, and then also some of the other offensive struggles you had before?
He's going to play. He's going to play every night. He's earned that. He was incredible tonight. He's been great in practice. There's something unique about him, at that size to rebound the way he does. He had 7 tonight. He's always in the right spot. He's fearless, and he connects the game. He plays the way we want to play. The ball moves when he's out there. He's attacking at the right times. He's cutting at the right times. Defensively, he's really good. He's a damn good player, so he's going to play.
Just 2 quick questions. I mean, are you concerned about a potential Draymond suspension?
I don't know. I mean, the game just ended. I haven't given that any thought, so we'll see.
And then any news on the Steph MRI?
The MRI, there was good news with the MRI. Nothing alarming. So I would say he's day to day, and we'll see. We'll just have an update each day and let you know what's going on, but it won't be long. If he misses another game or 2, whatever, it's not going to be anything long term.
You went with Saric in the starting lineup. I know matchup based also, but could that be an option for you that you look hard at to get more offense, get more spacing on the floor with the starting unit? Yeah,
it's a possibility. We love the lineup that we've started the last couple of years, and we want to give that unit every opportunity to get going. And we know when Wiggs and Clay are shooting the ball well, that lineup makes perfect sense. We have 2 full seasons of that to show for it, and to prove that. But if we're struggling to score, then Dario does change the chessboard, with his pick and pop and his ability to stretch the floor, and so everything's a possibility at this point. I like this team a lot. The character, the guts, the grit, but there's a lot of moving parts right now, and so nothing is set in stone, and we're going to have to sort through it here in the early part of the season.
I know you're playing him kind of at both spots, and he's just a guard. Podziemski, he plays both. But do you like him as a backup point guard? Do you like it? Could you see him in that role?
I think he can play backup point guard, but I think he's just a basketball player. So we can play him anywhere. And the beauty of him is that the game connects when he's out there. I'm excited to play him with Steph. and with Clay. He's going to get those guys a lot of shots just with the way he plays and the way the ball moves. So we'll see. We'll have to figure it out. Monty?
You mentioned grit. Is that something that this team has to bring to compete on a nightly basis, and have you seen it any more than you have tonight?
In order to win in the NBA, obviously you have to have talent, but you have to have energy. You have to bring something to the table life-wise, like joy-wise, energy-wise, competitiveness-wise. And that's what I watched tonight, from the whole group. And clearly Brandin has that. That's pretty obvious. Our fans have watched this team win 4 championships. They weren't won by, a bunch of powders and wallflowers. They were won by gamers, competitors, guys who brought energy and joy and passion to everything. And that's what it takes. So that's what I'm looking for.
Over and you're in the game. What's your mindset from that moment on, and how did you think it went?
To win, and I think we did a pretty good job, playing without 3 Hall of Fame guys. We battled, we fought. Carlton Towns played really well for them, but it sucks we couldn't get it done.
Steve said you're going to play every night going forward, that you earned it. To hear that from your head coach, what does that mean to you?
For me, just being a confident individual, that's what you work for. But, I'm happy to contribute to the team in any way I can. And if that's in the rotation or it's not, you're going to get this ain't me. But, yeah, I'm excited to go forward.
Brandin, how do you see your role on the team going forward? Like, what do you think you can bring to the team?
Yeah, I think I look at myself as like a spare tire. Whenever something is wrong with the tires, I just go in there and fix it. And whatever coach asks of me, that's kind of what I have to do. I'm not going to say I have a particular role, but just whatever coach asks of me, whether it's starting, coming off the bench, or not playing, I'll be ready for all 3.
How's your eye?
Feels great. Looks bad, feels great.
How's your over here? How's your confidence growing as a scorer? Because first couple games maybe you weren't getting involved there, but how's that growing for you?
Yeah, I think it was what the game called for. I think with the guys we had out there, I think me and Chris were our main scorers out there. So just kind of what the game calls for. Some games, I'll get 1 shot. Some games I'll get 18 like I did tonight. But just kind of whatever the game calls for, and it's just about taking the right shots. And I talked to 30 about it, and he said every shot I took tonight was a good shot. So just kind of what the game calls for, and we'll go from there.
You were at the end of possessions many times. The ball would just come back to you, clock running down. How did you feel about that, and also the buzzer beater at the end of the quarter there?
Yeah, it kind of just felt like college, really. That's how it was all last year for me. And I feel comfortable, creating for myself or creating for my teammates and late clock situations. And then in terms of the buzzer beater, I looked at the opposite end and I saw like 2 point something left, so just kind of turned and shot it.
After the last game, Steph said he told you to stay ready. How does it feel to have someone like Steph Curry have that kind of confidence in you?
Yeah, it's amazing. He's the best player in the world for a reason. And, our relationship over time has grown, which I couldn't be more thankful for. And, just him being around him every day and, us developing that friendship and then him having that confidence in me is something you obviously don't take for granted. But, I'm super proud that someone like him has faith in me.
BP, most important question of the night. Did you call glass?
No, I didn't. I just wanted it to go in. That's it.
I don't know if you've been asked, but what was kind of your perspective on what went down early in the game, and especially because, you get thrown. I figured you probably thought you were part of the rotation, but you get thrown in, right away.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing. When Draymond and Clay – get into it other teams. I thought that's what kind of sparked the energy from our fans. Draymond, he does anything he can to impact winning, and maybe that's what was called for tonight. But, for me, just being thrown into the fire, like I said, it's kind of whatever the game calls for. And, you know, as a rookie, you kind of just got to stay ready, and you don't really know what it's going to be like. I knew I was going to get minutes tonight, but I didn't know it was going to be 39. But, you know, credit to just my work ethic and the time I put in.
What conversation did you have with Chris Paul after everything that happened in the first quarter?
Yeah, he just told me to just keep being me. You know, we were kind of rolling at that point. But, you know, throughout the game, I think I played worse, honestly. It's as crazy as that may sound. I played kind of worse going throughout the game. But I just try to, you know, impact winning on both sides of the floor. Try to take the hardest matchup besides Edwards for Chris, so he didn't really have to guard the best. So he was good for offense.
Before the game, Kerr said that he called you, you're cocky, and you know you're good, and he loves that. Are you cocky, and do you know you're good?
I think just the player I am and, you know, where I come from, you kind of need some of that, some of the extra juice and confidence. So, I mean, you could kind of view it as that, but I think this was helped me get here, and I think this was going to help me stay in the league. And just, you know, I'm not just, you know, soft out there and nothing like that. I'm going to, you know, bring the same energy everybody else does.
Great, thank you. He's cocky, and I love it. I love it. He's brash. He knows he's good, and that's important. That's really important in this league to not only think you're good, but to know you're good. Brandin knows he's good, so that's a really good first step. You got to show a little humility amongst the veterans, you know, while you're going about your business, which he's learning, and the guys like him, and he's a fun person to be around, but he works, he's competitive, skilled, tough. He's going to be a really good player.